Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Shelby Jaquez, and I wanted to talk about my painting process. I usually draw my references with paint because I find it the best for my liking. As opposed to like drawing with pencil then painting it, I prefer to draw with paint. I just feel like it transitions a little bit better for me. And regardless, I don't even like to spend that much time on my drawing because it's, at the end of the day, just a guideline. You can see now I'm blocking in the painting, and I'm pretty much just trying to cover ground so I could work the whole thing together, because I'm not really one of those painters that paint one thing to completion at a time, because I find that's not really effective for what I'm trying to go for. I want my paintings to look loose but accurate to my subject, but I'm okay with it not being perfect, which I think is like one of the keys of being a good painter. I won't paint one eyeball till it's done and one nose till it's done. Like, I paint the whole thing at once, and I try to mold and sculpt my painting to become who I'm trying to paint. And I'm okay with it also not being perfect, because I feel like that makes a good painter. Being able to let go of perfectionism and breaking down your subject into simple shapes. I block in my subjects from dark to light, but I left the face out just for like a little bit later. I forgot to mention, but I did mix an ass load of paint before I started this, just because I'm not trying to run out of paint while I'm working on this, especially like during the drawing stage. For the background, I try to mix my colors as spot accurate as I can, just because I don't want to have to do too much later on. Like, I always just try to go for the right color, but I don't like color match it usually. I kind of just eyeball it. So I'm pretty much blocking everything in and fixing the shapes as I go, so nothing is set in stone until I start developing the entire painting, because I can always go back and adjust something later on when I find that it's not right. But as long as I get something down, like, that's really what's important, because you're always adjusting what you have put on the paper or canvas, whatever. It's good to add your brightest values and your darkest values in every stage, in the early stage, because it just helps you like gauge your values for the whole entire piece. You don't want to like make everything look too flat. Like, you want to have like a dynamic range of values at least. So I feel like for me that's important. That's why I started going off on the dress, since it's very shiny. I'm seriously not doing any details until later on, because there's really no point until you have a solid foundation. You don't add furniture to a house until it's completely built, right? That's why you see me adding a block in for the heels with just 1 to 2 values. It's literally so I could have an idea of where I'm going, even though it's not 100% accurate. I place my lines and shapes, but they're always subject to change. It can always change. Just like when you're painting from life, it always changes. The lighting's always changing. That's like the best thing for a painter, is to be able to adapt. I finally started working on the face after blocking in everything else, and I'm pretty much doing the same thing that I was doing for the rest of the painting. That's the thing about painting portraits or drawing faces. You might have to draw the face a few times before you actually get it right. Ooh. Regardless, I've been trying hard to just work on the structure of her face without going into details. Just the broad overall shapes that I'm seeing. Real quick, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I work very hard on these paintings and I'm trying to get this quality a lot better. So let's go. I also go in with the background to draw the figure even more and fine-tune my placements. Now you see me going back and forth into the background, and I'm adding variation and like different values and adjusting the colors until I like what I'm seeing. Painting the background in with your subject is great because it makes the edges smooth and it doesn't look like you cut it out and put it there, you know what I mean? You want to paint everything together for that reason. Excuse me. You want to paint everything together for that reason because your edges are going to look smoother. It's not going to look so like hard, you know, like a hard line. I mean, if that's what you're going for, but I want my whole subject and scene to like be into one scene, you know, just like you're looking at it real quick. I'm adding thickness and variation to the parts of the background that I felt could be developed more. And that's really what painting is. It's slow roasting. You have to prepare it, which is the drawing part, and then you roast it until it's cooked to perfection. You can't rush to the end without letting it cook. If you can't see where the little details are going to fall in, that means that your overall structure is wrong. It's really that simple. You gotta wipe it back, start it over. You know, that's the good thing about oil painting. You could just wipe off the paint or scrape the paint off with a palette knife and you're good. Just start over. And that honestly helps a lot. Once you let go of that, I feel like you just get over it and you just do it again. I eventually was able to keep my drawing simple and adjust things little by little. I did forget to mention, but I had to back up a lot in order to get my drawing to look accurate. In the final painting, it came out fantastic in my opinion. I loved how it came out. Yeah, stepping back, man. I had to step back a lot for this one to really lock it in. Like, I couldn't just do it from painting over and over for hours. I really had to step back and just look at my painting. Now I'm just going in with some more details on the dress because honestly, I didn't want to do that later on. I like the overall shape of her body, so might as well get that more developed. I really enjoyed painting the dress. Blue is my favorite color, and I actually tried to make each brushstroke soft and effortless. For this part, I was just going back and forth with my colors and trying to make sure it didn't get too muddy, but also that it looked soft and painted into each other. So I'm really just going back and forth with different colors or values. And I'm not trying to overdevelop it and do every single crease. Like, I just want to display what I want to convey without doing too much. Now I'm working on the features of the face while still trying to work on the structure of her face. And I actually ended up overworking it again, so I had to wipe back the paint a couple times. Like, this is routine for me at least. Like, that's part of the process. You gotta wipe it back, start it over. And with that being said, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know what you think.